The family say, "We are extremely disappointed in the lack of updates on the apparent ongoing investigation into the mass methanol poisoning."
You're lucky he didn't get his face. There's a chance it could have got his face. That God said, "You can have it on his top of his head, and we'll spare his face." Even though I, talk about marijuana, if you take certain risk when it comes to doing things, definitely the risk I just seen here where they grew marijuana right at the shops and people. Well, stupid idiots are going to get caught and they're not sticking up for their rights. Hopefully they'll sticking up for their rights in the background instead of just using something for profit. You're just a person that does something for profit. You don't stand or mean anything for what you're doing. You just do it for profit. Well, you're lucky you didn't get it in the face. You know what I mean? And I don't stand up for people who don't do things the right way, as I've been there before in certain areas, and also cop punishments myself when you're in those areas if you don't stand up to your rights fairly. Now, even stand up to your rights fairly, we're in an unfair world. So luckily, he got it right on the head. Poor bugger, eh? But dogs are like that. But I just want to circle back for a minute. Sure.
Parramatta Children's Court. How is your son feeling being arrested over a stabbing? As tributes to Sonmez continue to build here at his pizza shop, one thing remains clear. The community and his family want justice. The spotlight now on youth crime in the area.
I have been concerned, particularly across New South Wales, not just in Sydney, about rising rates of youth crime.
Why would you leave home with a knife? It's just that we need to address it.
Not only why would you leave home with a knife, the question is, why are they doing what they're doing in the first place, right? Was it for money? Was it for ego? All that kind of stuff. A lot of violence and stupid shit from teenagers for ego. Like a main cam, cool kind of thing like that, which is sad. Definitely they get to violence. Some people pick violence against someone else instead of violence against stuff. Right? Breaking things, burning things. Or breaking things is not as bad as burning. Burning can be bad because you got to think of when you bring in another creature, which is fire. Fire is a live creature. It thinks for itself once it's started. If it gets what it needs, it'll keep on functioning. And so you got to take the risk of when you introduce extra things that if it goes out of control, well, that's your fault. You should have thought about it. Should have come up with a different plan than fire, right? And so I want to talk about how does these situations get worse for everybody, right? For this guy get stabbed and everything like that. What makes situations worse? Well, we hear propaganda can, right? How does propaganda work for outcomes that make things worse? Well, sometimes they quickly do things in stories and they have a perception. So when you do something quickly and rush into things like these stories of stabbings, they haven't got proper investigation yet. They should say a stabbing happened and this and that. But getting people's opinions when they don't know the information and then spreading those opinions can make things look like something before it's not, right? So they haven't got the clear information. So they're going, oh, why is this happening? Or is it dangerous? And then we hear the government now talking about, oh, we should change this. This is the reason why we should change that. And all these things happen before the real truth comes out. It's already done. Right? And that's what Hitler did a lot to get his outcomes, was to use advantages of incidences or to behind the scenes create incidences to get your advantage. Right? And so to propaganda something, you rush in quick. Right? And when you do that, you can hurt others as well if you don't even mean to propaganda. You're propaganding for money. Because most of the time they're rushing in, like news people, I notice they rush in. They don't mean to hurt anything, but they do a lot of hurt. You hear about them all the time. Paparazzi's hurting people. It's paparazzi's fault why Princess Diana died. Could have been right. Paparazzi, because you know why? Because they go rushing in. And because of that, and the ones that do it more, they don't have a good reputation in the end. But they think they do. That's the hilarious thing about some paparazzis. As long as the rich person doesn't see all the real information and they're funded, then I guess they keep on trucking, don't they? But I noticed that they just rush in on everything for money and for a story. And they shouldn't do that because it hurts people. It hurts when people start to think that maybe why is the world going so crazy? And it's not crazy. Maybe there was a legit reason for things. Maybe people are getting paid to do things, as the police are talking about right now in the politics and what we heard before, hey, Emma, about people getting paid to do things for terrorism. And so we don't need to go rushing in and to prove the terrorism right, which is what I talk about when it comes to the Ghazi incident and how I talk about certain people and I'll give them thumbs up for what they do, but then they're getting a thumbs up because an area are failing with the thumbs down, you see. And that's sad to see, instead of these people just twisting that we favour or anybody. I don't favour anybody. I don't know many people to favour. I haven't had a family that's around me a lot or a lot of friends. So my favouring people is very small. I don't favour money too much. I've lived poor most of my life. So what you don't know and don't have, you don't miss. Right? And so I haven't had that test yet to get to the problems that these people have. And I know that such thing could happen and I wouldn't want to turn into such people. But that's the test we all go through when we become those people, like they say, money changed you. And in a lot of ways it can. Education is like money. It can also change people. It depends on how they want to look at it. They can get snobbier and stuff like that. But it's up to us to not have our ego too much and opinions towards others too much, as it can hurt behind the scenes, unless it's necessary. Go get a job for it. There's always a job for something that you like doing. Get that job and then you'll be laughing because you'll be doing a job you like doing. But anyway, have a good one and let me know what you think about news people rushing in on things and getting questions off people when they haven't really got all the information. I believe news people should tell us about the story, should allow a little time, make sure that people get the right information before they speak to them, and so that's why time is good too. Otherwise, you may be getting them to speak something you're going to put on TV that may not even be true, so you can easily spread fear tactics and wrong information, propaganda type thing. So have a good one and see you later.